Hey everyone, it's Luke here from LT Gaming and welcome back to the channel. With the Steam Summer Sale upon us, it's time to look at 10 awesome wargames that you can pick up today. I've included a number of these from other lists and also made some additions. It's always exciting when a Steam sale comes around, and both me and Tom love to jump on the opportunity, and we have plenty of content coming up to cover many awesome gems that you might pick up in this particular summer sale. I will keep the introduction short and allow you to jump into some real gems here. Enjoy! Cold Waters, 75% off, €9.24. Right, we're going to kick this list off with something a little bit more graphical, and it is the spiritual successor to the Microprose classic Red Storm Rising. The game is Cold Waters. Cold Waters is inspired by the 1988 classic Red Storm Rising. You command a nuclear submarine in a desperate attempt to prevent mutually assured destruction when the Cold War gets hot and World War III begins. Although the game came out in 2017, it's a really great representation of real-time naval combat, with over 40 classes of ships and submarines meticulously researched. There's also a dynamic campaign where your performance matters, and it is playable on the Steam Deck, which is always important to me. Now, this particular list has gone in more of a hardcore wargame direction, so if you're looking for some better graphics, this one is definitely a strong contender on the list. SGS We the People, 50% off, €14.49. This is a wargame that covers the complete American Revolutionary War from July 1775 to April 1783, with all the units, weapons and events included on a 2-week per turn basis. It really is the most modern and most complete strategy game made on this conflict, and you can fight for your ideas and take command of America. And being an SGS title, it has very accessible gameplay with a smooth UI, great unit cards and wonderful music. This particular entry is one of my favourites as it has a really strong campaign and a great vibrant looking map. If you're interested in the SGS games, also make sure to check out the rest of their series, which will more than likely be on sale. WarPlan, 50% off, €19.49. Coming up next, we have WarPlan, which stands out as a really well-crafted World War II simulation engine, offering a fine balance between realism and playability. Drawing upon the rich legacy of 50 years of World War II board wargaming, it encapsulates the essence of the era with unparalleled accuracy. Through its flexible engine and comprehensive database, players can immerse themselves in a recreated World War II experience, detailed in every aspect. Whether commanding vast armies or making crucial strategic decisions, WarPlan provides an authentic and engaging journey through one of history's most defining conflicts. And what really stood out for me with WarPlan compared to a lot of the wargames of yesteryear is the way that it plays and the UI. It's smooth, it runs really well, and it's very user-friendly. If you're thinking about getting into the hex and counter style of wargame, then this would be a really good place to start. There is also a sequel called WarPlan Pacific if that theatre is more for you. Kraken, who is the developer of this game, is also working on Kingdom, Dungeon and Hero, an upcoming fantasy-style wargame that you should definitely check out. Rise of the White Sun, 50% off, €10.49. Get ready to dive into an epic strategy sandbox set in the tumultuous era of Warlord China. This game is packed with tons of playable factions, each offering a unique and thrilling experience. Join the ranks of communist insurgents fighting to ignite a revolution and reshape the nation. Or align yourself with the fierce boxer-like rebels, determined to expel foreign influence and restore China's sovereignty. Whether you're conquering territories, forging alliances, or plotting cunning strategies, this game offers endless possibilities in a richly detailed historical setting. So you get to choose your faction and prepare for an unforgettable journey through the chaos and intrigue of Warlord China. In fact, this is set in the 1920s, and you're able to build your empire, engage in diplomacy, and lead military expeditions. What sets this game apart is its unique focus on leading a loose clique of unreliable opium addict warlords, this is in their own words, commanding massive, unruly, and unpaid armies. Honestly, this is truly a unique game and borders on being a grand strategy title rather than a wargame, but overall it's a huge amount of fun, and you should definitely check it out. It's doing very well on Steam reviews with an overall very positive rating at 87%. Command Modern Operations, 50% off, €39.93. This game represents the pinnacle of cross-domain modern wargaming, ushering in the next generation of immersive gameplay. With its advanced capabilities, it empowers players to simulate a vast array of military engagements spanning from the aftermath of World War II to the contemporary era and beyond. While its primary focus lies on tactical and operational scales, Command Modern Operations also offers the flexibility to undertake strategic level operations, providing players with a comprehensive and dynamic gaming experience unparalleled in its depth and realism. This game lets you model absolutely any type of military engagement, and one of my favourite things to do was to get different fighter jets from the Cold War era and put them up against each other. You can do this in a scenario-based environment or play out entire campaigns. It also comes with a number of different DLC purchase options if you want to expand your military conflicts. There is everything available from the conflicts in the Middle East to the Falklands War. Now this package is expensive, and if you start to purchase DLC, it can really start to add up, but you can get absolutely years of gameplay out of this title. And overall, this has to be one of my favourite complex wargames to play in 2024. Hex of Steel, 50% off, €12.49. This game is a refreshing World War II wargame covering all fronts and features a number of original mechanics. You can fight solo against the AI in Europe, Africa or the Pacific, or if you choose to, go online and play cross-platform PBEM or real-time multiplayer. Co-op is also an option in this. Once again, this is another modern wargame with none of the issues of the past. It plays really well and the UI is very smooth to use, and I found it to be a really enjoyable experience overall. There are so many different scenarios, you can get completely lost in this, and if you were looking to pick up your first wargame, a hex-based traditional hardcore wargame, then this is definitely at the top of the list. The game has also been received extremely well by its peers, with a very positive rating on Steam at 97%. You can't really argue with that. Total Conflict Resistance, 25% off, €21.74. With realistic mass battles, many types of armoured vehicles, weapons, uniforms, unique mechanics and immersive gameplay, you're able to lead any state within the game and bring it to greatness. This game reminds me of Mount & Blade, but with modern weapons. The game remains in early access, but they have been doing regular updates and that is encouraging. But with this particular title, you're really getting a wargame on the other end of the spectrum. It's a first-person shooter in the middle of a huge conflict or battle. There are tanks, armour, explosions, everything's going off, it's full of action. Not like the hex-based wargames on the list, which take a little bit more time to get into, but ultimately I find them more immersive overall. However, if you're not in the mood for that sort of title, then this game is the perfect antidote. And on this sort of list, I think it's good to present you options at each end of the spectrum. If you're interested in the look of this title, it's rated very positive on Steam, with an overall 80% rating, and is playable on the Steam Deck. Attack at Dawn North Africa, 50% off, €14.49. And of course, there are various levels of hardcore, and this game is definitely on the more accessible side. I really enjoyed that this game took a real-time approach, which was very novel when it came out. In essence, the game is a World War II strategy game that mixes the ease of real-time action with the depth of operational gameplay, all on a beautifully crafted North African map. I made a few videos on this back in the day, and even talking about it makes me want to go back and play it. It was so refreshing in the wargame space. I do hope that Panzer Division Games made a success out of this and that they plan more for the future, because I would definitely buy more of their titles. If you are interested in this title, I think the best thing to do is go and check out my Let's Play that I did a couple of years ago. Now, the quality might not be as good as what we do today, but I still think those videos stand up. I'll leave the link in the description, and I do highly recommend this wargame. The Troop, 30% off, €23.79. This is a turn-based, platoon-level tactical game set in World War II. From the early hours of D-Day to the Battle of Falaise, engage in intense combat across Normandy, playing as British, Canadian, or German forces. And I really love that the Allied focus here is on the British and Canadians. There are 30 maps and 3 play modes as you take command of infantry, motorized and armored units in desperate tactical turn-based combat against an AI opponent that is challenging and unpredictable. There's also a really interesting battle group game mode where you get to play a dynamic 5 to 9 mission operation played with a randomized persistent player force. A really interesting title that I'd certainly like to spend more time with and review on the channel. It's rated very positive on Steam with an overall 86% rating and is also playable on the Steam Deck. Right, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to go down below, hit the like button, comment about games you would have included on the list or games that you didn't know about, or even games that you simply love that I included. Also, hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Both me and Tom really appreciate it. Regiments, 30% off, €17.49. Regiments immerses players in the intense realism of real-time tactics within the turbulent backdrop of Germany in 1989. As the Cold War erupts into open conflict, players must guide their regiment through the chaos of war and the uncertainty of battle. Navigate through the relentless inferno of combat, making strategic decisions amidst the fog of war. From breaking through enemy lines to coordinating artillery strikes, executing maneuvers, and orchestrating counterattacks, every move is crucial. With perseverance as your ally, press forward relentlessly, never wavering in the face of adversity in this awesome strategy game. I really do think that this is an amazing war game to play in 2024. It has the graphics, the gameplay, and the challenge. So if you're looking for something a bit more visually appealing, this is a title that you should consider. Now, they also added British DLC, and I know another one is on the way. So this is a war game that you can play in 2024 and beyond and look forward to new content. If you want to know more, check out the Should You Buy that I'll link in the description, but honestly, I can't recommend this game highly enough. It's a great time. So there we go, LT Gamers, we wrap up our first Steam Summer sales list with some epic war games for you to pick up. Make sure to keep liking, commenting, and subscribing if you're new here. I've been Luke from LT Gaming, and I'll catch you on the next one.